Welcome back. Amid this emergency, a lot of people have legal questions about what may be obligated to reveal about their own health. And joining us live via Skype is attorney Harry Nelson. Harry, one of the questions a lot of people have, what obligation do employers have to protect their employees from the risk of coronavirus?
So, John, great to be with you. So it's a great question. In general, the obligation of an employer is to take reasonable safeguards to protect their employees from reasonable risks. So we're in new territory in terms of this question of how much risk employers may be exposing employees to. But following guidelines is certainly something that employers should be doing to avoid that potential liability to their employees.
And what about if an employee or a family member tests positive for coronavirus? Do they need to tell their employer? I imagine they should.
So certainly they should. There's no legal obligation there's a legal obligation to respect orders. So if somebody's flouting some of the state or local public health orders, that's one thing. There's no legal obligation to tell your employer, but it's a serious ethical obligation. I can tell you, in the last 2 days, I've heard of 2 stories where people came into hospitals, hospital workers came in without disclosing their status and infected dozens of people and literally just took out of commission needed employees. So it's a really critical ethical issue. You have to tell your employer, and you have to tell the people around you so that they can avoid exposure themselves.
Right. And what about, say, somebody who lives in an apartment? Should they tell the apartment management? And at what level do people have a right to privacy, or does that not apply in an emergency like this? I mean, I would think if you're positive, you probably should tell as many people as possible.
Yeah. So the main thing, technically the only one who has a right to ask and be told legally is the public health, the Department of Health at the county level, at the state level, federally. But as an ethical matter, it's the socially responsible thing to do to tell everybody. And so if, to the extent that people don't want to be individually outed, they should at least share information that somebody in the building, one person in the particular area has the infection. But certainly the best practice is tell people and let other people take the precautions. And if they've been exposed to you, quarantine themselves.
Right. Now, obviously, if you feel sick, you stay home. Harry Nelson, great advice. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, great to be with you. Thank you.